So I am today in, where am I? I'm in Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri. We flew in last night, got in crazy late, like midnight. But we're here today, we're doing some sightseeing. We're only here for the day. We have to fly out at like 4 p.m. I think it's like 11 now. So the first place that we're going is Liberty Jail, which is where Joseph Smith was held for 6 months, and which is outside. I'm pretty excited. Like, this is very meaningful to me. Yeah, let's go see.
Spending more than 4 months in the snug jail provided a daunting experience. 4-foot-thick stone walls, a 6-foot ceiling, and constant harassment by guards caused Joseph and his companions to describe the structure as, quote, hell surrounded with demons, end quote. The detainees were placed in the lower level dungeon, where temperatures dropped, light dimmed, odors reeked, and time seemed to slow. Only, quote, dirty straw couches, end quote, prevented the prisoners from sleeping on the stone floor, but even those wore out after a while. The food sickened the prisoners. Joseph and his companions described their daily meals as, quote, very coarse and so filthy that we could not eat it until we were driven to it by hunger, close quote. When the prisoners finally ate their servings, the food caused them to vomit almost to death. Some of the detainees suspected the guards of poisoning their food and water, or even feeding them human flesh. The 4-month confinement in Liberty Jail also took a heavy physical toll on the prisoners. Sunlight barely crept through 2 small iron-barred windows. Long hours in the darkness caused the men's eyes to strain. While a small fire was allowed, without a chimney to channel the smoke, the prisoners' eyes became even more irritated. Their ears ached, their nerves trembled, and Hiram Smith even went into shock at one point. Sidney Rigdon, the second oldest member of the company next to Baldwin, a 47-year-old father of 10, was in such poor health that lying in an inclined bed he petitioned for an early release. His eloquent speech and severe infirmity caused the judge to discharge Rigdon ahead of schedule. Seemingly helpless, the prisoners twice attempted to flee the jail, but watchful guards put a stop to their daring getaways. Revelation received by Joseph Smith while in confinement. Quote, my son, peace be unto thy soul. Thine adversity and thy afflictions shall be but a small moment, and then, if thou endure it well, God shall exalt thee on high. Thou shalt triumph over all thy foes. If the very jaws of hell shall gape open her mouth wide after thee, know thou, my son, that all these things shall give thee experience and shall be for thy good. The Son of Man hath descended below them all. Art thou greater than he? Close quote. The metal plates displayed in this case are an artist's representation of the metal plates unearthed in New York State in 1827. When the original plates were translated, they were found to contain a record of ancient inhabitants of America, their origins, their history, and eyewitness accounts of the appearance of the long-awaited Messiah.
Okay, so we were driving away from Liberty Jail, and I saw this from a distance, so we had to drive and find
Missouri
it.
291 South, which saves 3 minutes. If you prefer to
I
stay
really
on
hope
the
you
current
can't hear my
route, tap
GPS
no
talking
thanks.
right now. Anyway, so this looks like a giant pencil, this pole. I hope that you can kind of see it. You probably can't really see it right now, but the top is pink and it's got like little green lines.
Let's chop it down so it can be sharpened.
Lol. You can't really see it like on the video, unfortunately.
I bet you it is sharpened behind that fence.
Up there.
Sure.
Head south on North Skyline Drive.
I don't understand.
Neither do I.
Oh, it's some kind of like power pole or something, but I think they've purposely tried to make it look like a pencil, to be honest.
Oh, of course.
Turn right
They
toward
painted it
Harding
red
Street,
on the
then
very
slight
top.
right onto Harding Street.
So this is where
who's gonna find a corner first?
the cornerstones are. Oh, because they're all
They're
everywhere?
in the ground. Yeah, they're in the ground.
You know where they are.
What's that? I don't remember. But I think there's one over here. It's like there's 4. They're in the ground.
How big or small are they? They must be pretty small
They're
if we
like
can't
this
see them.
Sorry, Fatty.
What? But
They
how
have,
do we not
they
even
have
see
like
them? Is that one? No, that's just like a hole.
let's see. They have writing on it.
How are we not finding them?
Probably in
Is
the
that one there?
spot.
But they've been, oh, so they're like, what, covered with grass?
No.
Is that one over there? Or is that just a tree root?
We'll find it, Fatty. We will find it. Like I said, it's not big.
What?
They have like little. Alright. Second stone of temple.
This is the cornerstone of where the temple is going to be.
So, one will be over here.
So this is the property that is owned by this church there, which is the Church of Christ. And this temple here, I say temple because they don't use it in a temple the way that we use temples. They use it more as just like a sanctuary. You don't have to have a temple recommend to get in or anything. Anyone can go in, even if you're not of their faith. That is owned by the Community of Christ, not to be confused with the Church of Christ. Two separate churches that are offshoots of the LDS Church. There is the LDS Visitor Center, and then here is the Community of Christ headquarters, which is connected to this building here. This church here, the Church of Christ, they own this plot of land here, the temple lot. So very interesting stuff. And these, I guess,
I'm assuming they're all this way.
I mean, as my understanding, I was pretty sure that this was an original stone that was laid back in Joseph Smith's time. Pretty cool.
It was like, this is the place. This is the New Jerusalem. The center of the New Jerusalem will be right here.
So that's actually part of their name.
She does look like it, like blue eyes, and
Really?
she has the nose, and she's married to my ex-son-in-law's father. And she goes around talking. They were going to go into that Church of Christ in the neighborhood and let's see if there was anything to do with this.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Well, the same
Yeah, 'cause I've
name.
heard that same name too quite a lot, and I was thinking the same thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, we're only about 2,500 members or so in that community.
Christ. So that, yeah, he is right about the history. There was, like, it went from the Church of Christ, then, or like it was like the Church of Jesus Christ.
Okay, so now we're going to go inside of this building here, which is owned by the Community of Christ. It's an interesting little statue there. Wow, that's an interesting plaque up there.
Flag of the
Yeah, they have like all the different flags here. It's very cool. What's this about?
In the days to come, the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established as the highest of the mountains, shall be raised above the hills, and all nations shall stream to it. Many peoples shall come and say, Come, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, that he may teach us his ways, that we may walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth instruction, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. He shall judge between the nations, and shall arbitrate for many peoples, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore.
So this is just such an interesting area to be in, you know, the three different well, I don't want to say offshoots because obviously there's the original LDS Church, but the LDS Church and then the two offshoots.
What is say division?
Okay, three divisions of the church that was first established by Joseph Smith, based on the Church of Jesus Christ, when he was on the earth. it's so interesting to have those three divisions here right on top of each other. Like, and they all seem to get along. They're all friendly with each other. No one gives each other issues. But it's just such a complicated situation, my goodness. And they're all vying for the same land. And although they differ in many opinions,
Although we own 90% of it.
okay, so we own 90% of it, but although we differ in opinions on many things, all three groups are united in the belief that that temple lot there, or this land in general, is consecrated land, that this is holy and sacred land, and that this is where Christ is going to return. Like, that's amazing. It's a blessing and a privilege to be here. So I just tried going inside, but they're closed today. They have a conference going on, so couldn't get in and have a look around, unfortunately. But when we were driving around, so we couldn't get in the other entrance, it said to come around this side, so we drove around to this side, and on our way driving around we saw that there's actually a fourth church which called itself a remnant of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So just gets more complicated by the minute. Like, these four now different churches vying for the same area and all believing this area is sacred and holy. Very interesting.
This building's pretty good.
Okay, so this is the fourth church that we discovered when we drove around, which is
How do I get to be part of this
just
one?
right across the street from where, oh, you can't see it now through the trees.
So they
But
can't even-
right across the street from where the Community of Christ temple worship place is.
Well-
So they're all on top of each other. It's crazy.
Well, they can't even be our LDS Church because that one was already taken. So they have to be the remnant LDS Church.
So what does the R stand for in our LDS?
Reorganized.
Okay, so there's let's go through it. There's the original, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Then there is the reorganized Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. There is the remnant Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. There is the fundamentalist Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And there is the Community of Christ, and there is the Church of Christ Temple Lot. How many was that? I don't even know. Was that like
That's
7
enough.
or something?
That's enough.
Wow.
But wait, if you call now, there's more.
Crazy. We are currently at the base of the Hill Cumorah.